Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Tonight's the night. It's Sunday night and it's the return of WHF. We have fun F1. My name's Andy Owen and I am absolutely delighted to be here to welcome you to our Season 3 opener, which will be around the Sakir circuit of Bahrain. A few things that we probably need to go through beforehand, before we start, before we begin our journey around Sakir tonight. There are a couple of things that we need to do. And I think the first thing we'll do this evening is announce the driver lineup that is going to be presented to you by our good friend WHF Arrow. Here we go.
Hello all and welcome in to your WHF Season 3 lineups. We're here trying to find out who is in what team. We head first to Red Bull, where we have four-time SSR and WHF champion Cookie staying at Red Bull, joined by P3 in Tier 2's championship Dobo. We then move on to Ferrari, where it's Arrow staying at Ferrari, joined by Ty Clear, another Tier 2 graduate, as we head on to the all-new Aston Martin team of Turbo Snail and Exotic, two newcomers to WHF. Looking forward to seeing them race. And then we move on to Williams, my personal favourite team for unspecified reasons. As we move on to Kickstarter, we have the team of Ultra Titan and Ollie. A very quick team we have here. Ultra Titan finished P3 last season, followed by Ollie, who finished P6, so one of the stronger teams on the grid. As we move on to Mercedes, where we have one of the quickest drivers in the league, Supply Raptor, one of the contenders for the season to come, joined by the lanky one in the Mercedes. Followed by McLaren, where we have a newcomer, A-Lizzie, another quick driver joining the tier. And his teammate is one of the true OGs in Craig Connolly, keeps his seat at McLaren. Then at Alpine, it's Josh and Spared Fungus, two drivers from Tier 2 moving on up. But it could be the RB team who are the ones to watch, as JG, P4 in the championship last time out, and Crypto, who has newfound pace after moving up from Tier 2 last season. And finally, it's the Haas team of WT Addiction and Rio to round out the 20 driver grid. There you have it. There is your Season 3 lineup. Who will win this season? Stay tuned to find out at twitch.tv/WeHaveFunF1.
There we go, and there we have it then. Hopefully the volume problems are fixed and that you can hear my dulcet tones. If you didn't hear me before, welcome in. It's WHF. It's the return. It's Season 3. We have fun, and I'm looking forward. JB isn't with me this evening, but I'm looking forward to calling the action as we head to our first race of the season opener for Season 3, which is going to be at Bahrain. Now, the question is, if Bahrain's the opener, what other tracks? Now we know all the drivers and all the teams that they're going to be racing for this season. What are the tracks for the rest of the season? Let's introduce you to our calendar. Bear with me 1 second. There it is then. So we kick off at Bahrain tonight, and then we move on next week to Qatar for round 2. Round 3, it's Portimao and Portugal, with Hungary the destination for round 4 in Budapest. We head to Azerbaijan, it's Baku in round 5. Round 6, back over to mainland Europe, I guess. It's the Netherlands. It's Zandvoort on the 11th of August. The following week, one of our iconic tracks, it's Belgium and Spa at round 7 as we reach the halfway point of the season. And then we dash over the Atlantic to Las Vegas for round 8. We then dip back across to Europe for our trip to Monza. It's Italy in round 9, followed by Silverstone. I'm sure most of you have seen some action around Silverstone over the course of today. Get in there, Lewis. It's Silverstone round 10. Then off to Austria, where we saw a race marred by an incident between Lando and Max last week at Austria around Spielberg. Then we dip over to Asia. It's Japan for Suzuka in round 12, closely followed in October by round 13. That's going to be around Sao Paulo, round into Lagos at Brazil. And we finish off the season as we did last year. It's going to be Abu Dhabi, round 14 at Yas Marina. There is your calendar for this season then. Addiction, good evening to you. I hope you're doing very well, sir. I feel slightly underdressed. Let me do a couple of buttons up over here. Yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very well and you're ready for this race around Bahrain. We are running a few moments late, but we do have 18 drivers in the lobby ready to rock and roll, and I'm looking forward to calling this one whilst we wait. I'll tell you what, why don't we have a little word from one of our sponsors?
If you're looking for signed Formula 1 memorabilia, then look no further than F1collectors.com. If you want signed memorabilia from the greats like Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, and you guessed it, 3-time world champion Max Verstappen, then head to the bio and find the link to F1collectors.com. If you're looking for signed Formula 1 memorabilia, then look no further than F1collectors.com. If you want signed memorabilia...
There we go. I actually started to play it twice by mistake. Apologies for that, everybody. Technical glitches on the first round of the new season. We're almost ready to rock and roll. Everybody's readied up. And now it's time to take a look at the track that we shall be racing around this evening. It is, of course, the circuit in Bahrain. It's Sakhir, 5.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles, 15 turns, 3 DRS zones. And, of course, one of those DRS zones up from turn 3 up to turn 4, the peak of this track at the top end of the elevation. Looking forward to this one tonight, guys, with those 3 DRS zones. And, of course, the complexities that we have with getting a new game, new handling model, and, of course, a shuffle up of the drivers that we've got here in Tier 1 this evening. The only tier that we're in fact, here at WHF this season, to make sure that we've got some good competitiveness. I'm looking forward, personally, to seeing the battle between Cookie and Supply Raptor. That is my... I'm sure the weather isn't surprising. Rain for Bahrain. What? No, somebody's yanking my chain as we head to Bahrain. Oh dear. Well, that's an interesting one. Anyway, we're heading to Bahrain. So let's get in and make sure, number one, that my Elgato capture card is up to date, which it tends to be every now and again. Here we go then. Yes, it's Tier 1 Bahrain Grand Prix. We're heading off to that short qualifying session. We are heading off to that short qualifying session. I'm sure of it. There it is, look. See? I told you. Yes, bright sunshine. I say bright sunshine. It is, of course, towards the middle of the evening. Let's get rid of that. I'm sure we'll need some tyre data up there. So, let's have a quick look then through the list of drivers. It's Cookie, Exotic Words, Cthulhu. Oh, God, I'm going to have a struggle with that. Jamie Dwyer, WT Addiction, Arrow, Josh, Dobo, Rio MUFC, Supply Raptor, the lanky one, R.A. Fitz, Ty Clear, Sid, Craig Conley, Jason Gordon, Ultra Titan, and Ollie J. So the first car out of the pit lane to start us off this evening then, it's going to be Cookie in the Red Bull, last year's reigning champion, after he snagged that championship from Cloud towards the back end of that season. Good solid championship battle that we had in Season 2 here at WHF. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing a little bit more of the same as we head through this season. Hopefully the game volume is okay for you guys. Let me know in chat if the game volume's too low. I can certainly make an adjustment. Certainly whilst we're on our first outlap of the season anyway. Obviously an 18-minute short qualification session here at WHF, which means the guys will get 2, possibly 3 runs to maximise, or I say maximise, minimise their time around this 3.3 mile track. Be interested to hear from everybody in chat, of course, how you found the new game. What's your experience been so far? Have you found that you've been quicker, slower? What's been the deal so far for you? Here we go then for the first flying lap of the new season here at WHF. It's Cookie, and away he goes then down the long home straight down towards this tricky turn 1. Misses the apex, goes a little bit wide and deep there, goes through turn 2, up on the curb for turn 3 then. Now climbing up this hill, first DRS zone of this track, up to turn 4. Napped the curb on the left-hand side. Let's jump on board with him, in fact. As he gets down towards this tricky little half chicane, I like to call it. Down towards the first of our... down towards the hairpin for the first time, nipping the inside corner of the hairpin then, catching that apex, out wide then to the right to swing in down the hill. Tricky braking point here as we go into the second of our slow corners. DRS wing wide open again on the Red Bull, down this straight, down towards turn number 10. Moving up over the curb, clipping that curb on the inside, good pace. Flat out, up through the next turn then, down towards this back straight. 4th gear, beautifully done, just about manages to keep that legal. Down the long hill then. Now, a lot of the tracks that I've seen previously, there have been 1 or 2 bumps that have caused problems for the car, certainly at Spain, and of course Silverstone recently. But exiting the final turn, Cookie's going to put us down on the board. First one, wing wide open to the line, and it's a 1:27.3, the first time on the board. 1:27.3. Let's see who else we've got. Is it Jamie Dwyer? Jamie Dwyer on the medium tyre. Jamie Dwyer through DRS, wing wide open again, and he sets a 1:34.7. Joshy C in the Alpine, by the way, had set a 1:28.1, as Jason Gordon, also on the medium tyre, a 1:28.8 also. Coming around the final turn now, we've got, is it Ollie? It is Ollie J, 1:29.2. A couple of Haas coming through. WT Addictions first of the line, 1:29.2, followed by his teammate Rio. Rio jumps in with a 1:28.1, 100 slower than Josh in the Alpine. Craig Conley's probably going to be the next car across the line. He navigates the final turn right now on the long chase down towards that line. Here he goes. And it's a 1:29 flat for the McLaren man. As Thulu, are we going to call him Thulu, ladies and gents? I think we should call him Thulu. He's going to be the next car. Ultra Titan's just come around the final turn. Let's have a look at Sir as he crosses the line. Actually, he crosses back into the pit lane. Obviously, had a mistake. We've got a couple of Red Bulls doing a little bit of towing action here as Dobo now flies around that final corner. He's had a tow all the way down that back straight from Cookie. What's Cookie going to have done for him? And is Cookie going to get the favour return down the home straight? 5th fastest for Dobo, 28.2. Cookie looks like he might be going again. Or is this just an in-lap now? Now he's helped his teammate. Is he going to come in for an in-lap? We'll soon see as we get to the top of the hill here. Turn 4, we then move into the end of Sector 1 to see what that time looks like. He's 2.5 tenths up. So Cookie on another push lap. Second push lap.
Hello there.
Purple sector. Hello there indeed. Daniel Richards. Go on, Mercedes in the lanky one, says Daniel. Thank you so much for that follow as well, sir. Really appreciate that. Now, Ollie J. Ollie J has Ollie J crashed out, or is Ollie J in the pit lane? Let's see what this time stamp is then for the Red Bull Cookie. Here he comes towards the Sector 2 marker before we get on that long back straight again. He's lost a bit of time in that middle sector. He's only half a tenth up now. And he's invalidated. So that puts him out of contention. Let's have a quick look down the bottom end here. We got Jamie on another flyer here. Jamie 2/10 up. Oh, 1.9 seconds up now. So he'd made a mistake in Sector 2 last time out. So he's here putting down his first lap. Probably trying to chase down Ty Clear. Currently sat on a 1:30. These boys, of course, on the medium tyre. Chasing down towards that line then. Can he get into the 30s? Just outside with the 1:31.1. 2 seconds better off than his previous time, though. So that's good for him. We've got a Haas. Is this Addiction now? Addiction has indeed invalidated. So now we're going to be on with Sid. Sid, invalidation as well. So I think we've got Exotic Swords. That's a very nice name. Exotic Swords then. He's also invalidated. These guys struggling to get this car to stick around on the track. Here's Rio. Rio's a 10th up. So Rio here looking to try and get himself provisionally on the front row to oust Arrow, who's set a good time in that Ferrari. Round the final turn we go. Just about manages to keep it valid there. Now, long chase to the line. Can he get in the 27s? Just outside the 27s, but does indeed oust Arrow down to the second row provisionally. Rio MUFC 128 flat, still 7/10 behind our current pole sitter and previous season champion Cookie. Ultra Titan on an outlap, getting himself all warmed up and ready to go. He's going to do 2 warm-up laps. We've then got, is it Jamie Dwyer? Yeah, Jamie's coming in. He's on a warm down or a cool down lap as well. Dobo in the pits. Who do we have on the track at the present moment in time? Who is that just coming onto the final? It's Josh. Josh is on an outlap as well. So Daniel Richards, obviously a friend of the lanky one. Currently sat in P13 is the lanky one. One of the slowest drivers on that soft compound at the moment, because that lap by Ty Clear is, in fact, a mediums lap on that time. Do we have the lanky one on a lap at the moment? Do we have the lanky one on a lap at the moment? We do. He's not going very quick, though. He's 2 seconds out, so we'll jump back on with Josh. As he comes through Sector 1. 4/10 to the good. Now then, now we've got a challenge. Now we've got ourselves a challenge, potentially to not just the front row, but of course that pole position. 4/10 up would currently put him on a 27.7. Oh, makes a hash of turn number 10 down the hill. Gets a real bump. Will have lost some time there. Anytime he's made up in Sector 2, so far probably lost. So can he still be 4/10 up then as he gets up through the back up this hill then? Left hand, right hand, clipping the curbs on either side, no doubt. Through here, looking for 4/10 plus 4.5. So any advantage he did have, I don't know whether that is a proper purple second sector, but that seems to me like it might be the good old Sector 2 glitch. Back to Hunters, down to the final turn then in the Alpine. It's Joshy C then tracing down to the line. Seeing if he can get himself on that front row at the expense of Rio. And he does so with a 27.6. 2.4 tenths off the Red Bull of Cookie, who also is out. And it is improving again with 3.6 tenths up in Sector 1. Now then, can he get himself into the 26s, Cookie? Laying down a marker early doors in this season. Over that Sector 2 line, he goes 7/10. That is wild. He's well into the 26s. And this is going to be a phenomenal lap from the Red Bull driver. Down towards this final turn, then he goes, eating up the clock. It's a 26 for sure. Can he get into the lower half 26s? 26.4s maybe? 26.5s? It's a 26-4. What a lap that is by Cookie. Who's going to challenge the Red Bull? Jason Gordon, perhaps, in the Red Bull Cash App Visa. Red Bull Zero Sugar. Red flashing light on the fuel. Lots of ERS left, so this may not be a push lap for the Visa Cash App car. V-Carb. Into the pit lane he goes. Is this Arrow round the final corner? No, Arrow's in the pit lane. It's tie clear then. Surely on the chase down to the line. Gets himself a better time. 1:29.7 though. Still only down in P15. We have got ourselves a... Who is this? It's the Alpine of Joshi into the pit lane. We've got the Aston Martin. Is this Chilu again? Chilu off the track. But his teammate, Exotic Swords, goes into P8 at the expense of his teammate, Chilu, with a 28.3. Now, 2 seconds. Let's look at that gap. 2-second gap here. If we look at leader, it's a 1-second gap back to P1. And the gap between P1 and P17 is 4.6 seconds. That is some big, big gap. I'm sure that gap will come down as people like Jamie get himself up. And that Supply Raptor, straight off the bat, his first run gets him onto that front row. That battle that we were talking about at the very start of the show. Looking forward to that battle between Cookie and Supply Raptor. Sid says that was a scruffy lap from him. Still a 28.1, Sid. How much time do you think you've got left in that? You're 7,000ths off the back of JG at present. Who else have we got? We got Dobo, the second of our Red Bull cars. He's not going much quicker. Exotic Swords, obviously, on the way back in. RA Fitz just come through Sector 1. He's now starting Sector 2, down towards... the hairpin, he's gone. Then back down the hill, down towards through turn 9 into turn 10. That tricky braking zone makes it look okay then. 4 to 5 tenths max for you. Well, 4 to 5 tenths would probably get you, Sid. Well, 4 to 5 tenths at present would have you on the second row. So plenty to go out and battle for then. Here we go. It's RA Fitz then. Round the penultimate turn. 2.5 tenths to the good. That will probably get him up to P10. Top 10 start for the second of our Alpine drivers. Down to the final corner we go. Yellow flags in that Sector 3. There's a slow Mercedes. Going to have a chance for one more run, perhaps. Improves up to P10 as we had suspected. Right, let's see which of the Mercedes... only a 10th better off for the lanky one at present. That's not going to get much of an improvement. Maybe up into P15. Needs a bit more in Sector 3. Not got any ERS to battle with. He's going to have to get the pedal to the metal. He's going to have a time for a cooldown lap. Gets him up into P15. Does have time for that cooldown lap. Let's see how Arrow is getting on. Is this Arrow? No, it's Tyclear. Let's have a quick jump on board with Tyclear as he comes around the final turn then. Over 2 seconds out, so no good for him. Let's go on for the number 1 Ferrari driver then. WHF Arrow down that back straight then. Sector 3. Can he make an improvement? Can he get himself back into contention then for the second row? A long way off the first row. The two guys in the first row well off, up the road as Arrow does indeed pull into the pits. JG, 7 tenths to the good JG through Sector 1. No, he's not finished through Sector 1 yet. He's having a quick warm-up. Warming those tyres up. Work to do for Jamie Dwyer. Looks like an Alpine's that Fitz finishing. Yeah, that's Fitz finishing out. So, interesting first stint so far. 2.5 minutes left to go in this short qualifying session at Bahrain then. My name's Andy Owen and you're watching WHF Formula 1. Round 1 of our 3rd season here. We're looking forward to giving you a hell of a show this year. Cookie and Supply Raptor out in front at the moment. 3 tenths between those two guys. They're on their outlap for their final hot run. We will tune in with those guys very shortly. Just let's have a quick look where Cookie is so we can see. As we've gone past him, Cookie is in Sector 2. So let's have a quick look then. It's actually Jamie Dwyer. We were going to be on board with the Alpine, but Jamie Dwyer looks like he might be on his final hot run then. Not going to have enough time to set another lap, so this has to be it. 5 tenths up, not going to be enough. Has to make sure he gets a good toe down here from the... what is this in front of him? It's a Red Bull in front of him. Just about nips out of the way of the Red Bull. Can Jamie get himself from the bottom of that classification? Can he move himself up? He does improve, but not by enough. Not by enough. He's going to finish at the back of the grid. Lanky One says he couldn't fire the tyres up. Fingers crossed race pace is better. Plenty of time, my friend. Don't worry. Right, where's that Alpine? Was it an Alpine? Fitz? No. Here he is. Choklu coming down that... I don't even know how to say this. Chthulhu. Chthulhu? I might just call him Sao. Thulu. Thulu then. Thulu on the chase down to the line. Improves by a couple of tenths. It's not, don't think it's going to be enough to keep him in P10 though, as Craig Conley comes to the line. He's a tenth better off, but he's going for a final lap by the look of it. WT Addiction, he's got a final lap under his belt right now. And it's going to be Exotic Worlds as well. He's going to be flying for a final lap. Where are the two potential championship protagonists? And Cookie's being held up here by that Red Bull. Is it a Red Bull? No, it's a Williams. He's been held up by the Williams. We've got racing happening during qualification. It's the Williams of Jamie Dwyer. Off goes Cookie. He won't be improving. Where's Supply Raptor? He won't be improving either. Wow. Here we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Drama in qualification. Round the final turn goes Jamie Dwyer. He's going to run down to the line. He's going to improve by half a second by the looks of it. Not going to be enough, though. Stays in P18. Craig Conley. No, it isn't. It's Sid. Sid doesn't improve positions either. Craig Conley. There is a slow Aston Martin out in front of him, but it's going to be Craig Conley on the run to the line. As the Aston Martin does indeed get out of the way, causing a yellow flag in Sector 3. We've got an Alpine then behind this run through from Craig. Can Craig get himself up into the top 10? Too cold on the rears, says Sid. Craig goes up to P11. The Alpine doesn't improve. We've got a Ferrari. Is it Arrow? Arrow is slower. Arrow's going to be slower at the minute. Needs something here in Sector 3. Final turn. What can he do? Pedal to the metal. Racing to the line. Mercedes out in front of him. And doesn't improve. 2 tenths slower in the end. And we got Dobo. Dobo was slower as well. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's qualification done because Jason Gordon, JG, coming round through, starting Sector 3 now. He's off the gas. That's qualification done and dusted then. In the first round of this new season with WHF, it's going to be Cookie in the Red Bull on pole. So that hampering from the Williams... The hampering from the Williams doesn't mean anything negative for Cookie. He's going to be on the front row alongside Supply Raptor. And we do, yes, we do have some very tight times. You take the top 2 guys off, top 4 guys off probably. If we look from Arrow down, there's only 5 tenths between 6th and 13th. They are pretty close times. He bothered you in your lap, did he? Addiction. Don't forget, my friend. First run, they were mint. Second, they were terrible. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have a problem with somebody on track, make sure you make a note. Grab your clip from your stream and send it in to the stewards for consideration. I'm pretty sure that a blocked lap in qualification would result in a quali ban for next time out, where we head to Qatar. Here we go then. Let's get that final classification. Don't see anything flashing, which means we don't have any grid penalties by the look of it. So, on pole position, it's Cookie in the Red Bull. Joining him on the front row, it's Supply Raptor in that Mercedes. We've seen that battle before. Alpine's Joshy C in P3. Joining him on the second row is Rio MUFC in the Haas. We've got the Visa Cash App, the V-Carb of JG in P5. It's Arrow in P6. Sid in the McLaren P7. P8 is going to be double with the second Red Bull. The Aston Martin of Exotic Swords in P9. Ultra Titan in P10. That's your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. 1.9 seconds. Holy moly. So we may well see Cookie and Supply Raptor head off into the distance, and there'll be a battle for everybody else. Craig, thank you so much for the bitties, my friend. I hope you're doing very well. Really appreciate that. Right then, do we have a break before we kick off again here? That is the big question as people sort out their race strats. That's what I'm looking for. A little bit of a tiny break, a go time. So then, there we go, and there we have it. Qualification done. The two quick Donnies in Supply Raptor and Cookie at the front of the grid. Last year we saw Cookie and Cloud battling for wins. This year it looks like with Cloud not here, he's been replaced in the Mercedes by Supply Raptor. Any thoughts from you guys in chat? Any shocks, any surprises that we might see over the course of the next 45 minutes? It's a restart. Oh. Well, there we go. Oh, there we go, and there we have it. So, it would appear we're having a lobby restart. Race 1 of the season. Some habits die hard. No problem at all, sir. I will, I'll have to figure out a way of jumping out. There we go. There we go. We've jumped out. No problem at all, mate. So, whilst we get the lobby all set back up again, an interesting qualification session there with Cookie leading the way in the Red Bull, last year's champion, followed quickly by Supply Raptor. Now, I know Cookie and Supply Raptor from various leagues, and they're both pretty quick drivers. Be interesting to see how they laid out a marker for this first race of the new season. Obviously a long way to go because of course it's the first race, and we do have 20 odd laps of Bahrain to complete before we start calling out who's going to be challenging for the championship. But it does appear that the initial thought process I had around those two guys being at the forefront of this grid seems to be ringing true so far. Be interesting to see, of course, how we get on. Let's just see if we can get ourselves another invite. So yeah, an invite whenever you are ready, guys. Just let me know in chat. That'd be brilliant. I'll dive in and get ready to go again. Should we have a quick reminder whilst we're just waiting? Let's just have a quick reminder of our driver lineup for this season. Here we go then, and it'll be your good friend WHF Arrow who introduces the drivers, so you get a good feel.
Hello all, and welcome in to your WHF Season 3 lineups. We're here trying to find out who is in what team. We head first to Red Bull, where we have 4-time SSR and WHF champion Cookie staying at Red Bull, joined by P3 in Tier 2's championship Dobo. We then move on to Ferrari, where it's Arrow staying at Ferrari, joined by Ty Clear, another Tier 2 graduate, as we head on to the all-new Aston Martin team of Turbo Snail and Exotic, two newcomers to WHF. Looking forward to seeing them race. And then we move on to Williams, my personal favourite team for unspecified reasons. As we move on to Kickstarter, we have the team of Ultra Titan and Ollie. Very quick team we have here. Ultra Titan finished P3 last season, followed by Ollie, who finished P6, so one of the stronger teams on the grid. as we move on to Mercedes, where we have one of the quickest drivers in the league, Supply Raptor, one of the contenders for the season to come, joined by the lanky one in the Mercedes, followed by McLaren, where we have a newcomer, A-Lizzie, another quick driver joining the tier, and his teammate is one of the true OGs in Craig Conley, keeps his seat at McLaren. Then at Alpine, it's Josh and Spared Fungus, two drivers from Tier 2 moving on up. But it could be the RB team who are the ones to watch, as JG, P4 in the championship last time out, and Crypto, who has newfound pace after moving up from Tier 2 last season. And finally, it's the Haas team of WT Addiction and Rio to round out the 20 driver grid. There you have it. There is your Season 3 lineup. Who will win this season? Stay tuned to find out at twitch.tv/WeHaveFunF1. If you're looking for signed Formula 1 memorabilia, then look no further than F1Collectors.com. If you want signed memorabilia from the greats like Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, and you guessed it, 3-time world champion Max Verstappen, then head to the bio and find the link to F1Collectors.com. If you're looking for signed Formula 1 memorabilia, then look no further than F1Collectors.com. If you want signed memorabilia from the greats like Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, and you guessed it, 3-time world champion Max Verstappen, then head to the bio and find the link to F1Collectors.com.
There we go then. That was a word from our sponsor, F1Collectors.com. So for all your F1 collection needs, get yourselves over to F1Collectors.com and check out their outrageously good collection of merch. That gave me an opportunity to go and get a drink. We are ever so thirsty. And of course, we've got to keep the vocals lubed up, ready for what promises to be a sensational race. Looks like we've actually got 19 drivers in now as well, which is interesting. So I don't know who's going to be starting at the back. Dasher in the Williams has joined us.
Hello there.
Dasher in the Williams has joined us. Back. I'm sure we will be redoing qualification. At least I hope not. So then, talk amongst yourselves. Round 1, Bahrain, WHF. This is the only tier that we're running this season. If you are new to WHF, please feel free to hit that follow button. You will see some outstanding driving. Having done commentary on WHF last season, I saw some seriously good driving, some very quick guys. And if you're new to Formula 1, if you're new to F1 24, keep an eye on these guys because they're going to show you some serious talent this evening. Up the Stella, says Sid. Absolutely, there are other beers available. Craig, thank you so much for that tier 1 subscription. 31 months and on a 1-year streak. Let's go, Craig. Lovely job from you, sir. On top of the 12 bitties you've already added to the fund so far this evening. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you so much. So we do have our mid-commentary. Absolutely real. Mate, some things just need to be done on a Sunday night. Got to keep those vocal cords lubricated, sir. Keep those vocal cords and be able to speak. That would be a good start to the season, wouldn't it? Being able to string a sentence together. Yes, very good. So I'm assuming right now that the lobby is getting updated with all the rules. Of course, 50% races here at WHF, so it's going to be 29 laps of Bahrain with bright sunny weather I believe that we'll be racing at night. A race prediction from your boy Sid. Thinks he's going to do a bottle job. Well, Sid, you qualified in the top 8, I believe. So be interesting. You know, a point scoring position in qualification. Of course, you don't get points in qualification. You get points in the big dog race. That's what I am looking forward to seeing tonight as we kick off. It's my first commentary, actually, on the new game. So I'm looking forward to calling the shots. Need points, mate. Need points. First time driving at Bahrain or first time driving at WHF, mate? Because I think you've definitely driven Bahrain before. But if this is your debut, with both McLaren and indeed in WHF, welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. You're going to see some sights over the course of the season, no doubt. And yeah, it's great to have new drivers in to join the community. It's a very well-run community. Oh, let me turn the mics off for everybody so we don't get any of that rubbish. And it looks like we're ready to rock and roll, folks. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll. So let's get ourselves over to Bahrain. I don't know how to run adverts, my friend. Otherwise, I would absolutely do that. But I can't. I've got no idea how you do it. Here we go. They're on auto. They're on auto, my friend. They're on auto. So here we go then. It's a nighttime race under the floodlights at Bahrain in the desert. Does anybody think we're at a position to call Bahrain an iconic track yet? I know we've been racing at Bahrain for many years now, but I still don't think it's one of the iconic circuits. You know, places like Catalonia, which will be going very soon. Silverstone, of course, Suzuka, Spa. Those are the iconic ones for me. What's your favourite tracks, everybody, to race? For me, I actually love racing Hungary. I love racing Hungary. I actually love racing Monaco, believe it or not. Those street circuits. I do love a street circuit. So here we go then. It seems very quiet in the pit lane. And as per with some of the tracks where you've got that paddock above the pit lane, we don't have a paddock above the pit lane here for fans to look over and peer down onto that pit lane paddock area. We can see that Dobo and Cookie there in the Red Bulls. The first two cars, then Supply Raptor and Lanky One. So their garages side by side, of course. Are we going to see any drama during the pits? The pit stop that we have. Would imagine a one-stop shop here at Bahrain. But again, new game. First time that we've raced here. I feel like not just the handling model has changed, but also things like tyre wear. And we're about to see, because we're underway. The 5 lights are on. They're soon going to be out. And it's showtime for the first race of the season. Season 3, WHF, Bahrain. And it's Sunday night and we are away. Cookie gets a great start. Cookie and Supply Raptor into turn 1. Challenged by the V-Carb of Jason Gordon then. Up into P3, Josh. P4, P5, it's Arrow making up a position. Can he make up another one? Going to challenge himself to stay ahead of that McLaren of Sid. Does do, but goes very deep. And a move gets made. There's an Aston Martin gone round its Exotic Sword. Yellow flags in Sector 1. As Exotic drops all the way back down to P16. It's Sid and Arrow challenging. No, Arrow's been challenged by the 2 Haas. So there's a sandwich. 2 Haas almost come together as well here on lap 1. But out in front, Cookie streaking ahead, 6/10 ahead of Supply Raptor in the Mercedes already. Joshy in the Alpine in P3, followed by Jason Gordon P4. Sid up into P5 in that McLaren. P6, it's Arrow. As we see a Red Bull making a move in the background as the Lanky One moves up into P7. Great start from the Lanky One. Great start from the Lanky One. Let's just take a quick look at position changes then. As Lanky One's up 8, Dasher up 10. The 2 losers so far, down 5 Dobo, down 7 Ultra Titan, down 2 Ollie J. Jamie now at the back. But what a start that was from Cookie and Supply Raptor. They are 1.3 seconds out in front of that Alpine. The Alpine coming under pressure from the V-Carb of Jason Gordon into the pit lane. Is that? No, not into the pit lane. There is 2 cars going into the pit lane, but it looked like the Aston Martin of Exotic Swords was going to dip into the pit lane. Made a late move back out onto track. That would be interesting to look back at if you're a steward, no doubt. Quick look at the strat then. 2 runners out in front are on the hard tyre. JG making those soft tyres sing though. He's up quite a few positions, I believe. I can find it. He's up 2. He's up 2 positions. So he's made the soft tyre sing on the first lap. Got himself up into P3 out in front of the other hard runner, Josh EC. We've then got a couple of medium runners in Sid and Arrow, P5 and 6. P7 is the lanky one. Now, somebody who's got those soft tyres to sing, it certainly is the lanky one. Up 8 positions, up into P7 on the first lap. Outstanding. He's going to make a move on the inside of Arrow, is he? Just about manages to keep the position, Arrow, but he's going to lose out on the drag race down towards turn number, whatever it is, 9. No, 11. 11, turn 11. Through goes the Mercedes then, up into P6. Making the most of those tyres. He's now, though, got a bit of a gap. 2.2 seconds as we see our first penalty for Exotic Swords interpretation of the track limits here at Bahrain. Picks up the 3 seconds. Lanky one, 1.8 seconds the gap now. So he's made up 4 tenths just down that straight as Cookie sets the first fastest lap of the race with a 1:31.5. We're going to see Supply Raptor making a move! Making a move, a dive up the inside. Contact between Mercedes and Red Bull allows the Red Bull back out in front. So, although it was a late dive and there was contact, caused a spin, Supply Raptor backed off and allowed Cookie to take control back of the race again. That's allowed Jason Gordon, Sid, Josh, all to close up. So even though those 2 guys were electric in qualifying, a mistake between the 2 as they race closely on lap number 3 it means that it's brought the rest of the grid back up into contention. Supply Raptor's actually dropped off the back now as well. So may well, did he catch himself some damage there with that collision? Doesn't look like it. Both end plates intact on that Mercedes, but does seem to be dropping a little bit of time to the Red Bull out in front. And the V-Carb, Jason Gordon, in close proximity. 8 tenths though. So maybe Jason, maybe Supply Raptor's just settled his nerves a little bit there on lap number 3. And he's now being able to focus his attention on that Red Bull out in front. Speaking of Red Bull, looks like Dobo's made a move. Dobo, Dasher making a move on the inside of the final turn. He's going to get the move done just about in time. Dobo and Dasher both on those soft tyres as Rio sets the new fastest lap with a 31.5. Dasher, Dobo, Addiction and Tie Clear down towards the first turn. Then 3 wide into turn 1. Late on the brakes is the Haas. Too late was the cry as he goes through. So Addiction loses a couple of positions there. Dobo there to pick up the pieces. Dasher and Tyre Clear go through up into P13, the Ferrari. Speaking of Ferrari, let's have a quick check-in with Arrow. How's he getting on? 3 seconds now off the back of Rio after Rio put that fastest lap of the race in the 31.5. So a bit of a gap, 3.2 seconds as he comes down to the hairpin, followed closely by the Aston Martin and indeed the McLaren. Aston Martin of... where's Joshy C then? Where's Joshy C? Joshy C got all out of shape and plummets down the order. That is bad news for the Alpine driver who'd started off so well. Jason Gordon, by the way, has taken advantage of those soft tyres. He's managed to get himself in front. The V-Carb in front of the Mercedes. That gap, though, 2.4 seconds. So there must have been a mistake from Supply Raptor because he had managed to settle down quite nicely after his mistake early doors in the back. And he's going to try and make a move down on the inside, down towards turn 1. Pulls out, backs off. Pulls back in behind the V-Carb. And into the pit lane. Into the pit lane. Is there some damage? Is there some damage on that V-Carb? We'll have to wait and see. But Supply Raptor then now has got the job of closing a 2.5 second gap to our race leader and current world champion, Cookie. He's going to be followed closely by Sid, who's within the DRS, wing wide open. You can see on the back of the McLaren there. There's then a 1.6 second gap to Lanky One. Lanky One, again, making great progress up from, what, P16? Up from P15, up 11 positions on lap 5 of this opening round of the World Championship. Great stuff from the Mercedes driver. Superb. Sid also up 4 positions. We've got 9 positions up for Dasher, who's currently sat in P10. 5 positions up for Ty Clear in the Ferrari, currently sat in P11. And then 4 up for both Ollie and Jamie Dwyer. Dropping back Jason Gordon then. Must have had himself a damage problem. So he's dived into the pits, thrown himself some medium tyres on, got rid of the softs. How far is he going to take them? Probably going to be a 2-stopper for the Red Bull racing man, if you can say it. But here we go then, out in front. We've said it many times before, yellow flag in Sector 2. There's been a collection between Arrow. It's Arrow collected, and it looks like he's been collected alongside one of the, perhaps one of the Alpines, perhaps, in Josh. Not too sure who came into contact with the Ferrari guy, but he's lost his left end plate. We'll see the Ferrari dive into the pits. He power slides around the final turn. He's not going to come into the pits. He's going to carry on with the race. Brave there from the Ferrari man. Into the pits, though, does come Exotic Swords. Exotic Swords into the pit lane for his first stop. R.A. Fitz has had 2 stops already as well. Yeah, Exotic Swords. And he's DNF'd. He's retired in the pit lane as Exotic Swords. He's had himself enough. So we're down to 1 Aston Martin in the race, and it's Thulu. He's currently sat in P17, way off the pace. But he has stopped, I guess. That gap is growing. 3 seconds between Cookie and Supply Raptor. 3 seconds. Probably a mistake from Sid. 3 seconds there, the gap between Sid and Supply Raptor as well. Medium tyre. How far can this soft tyre go, do we think? I'd probably suggest maybe 10, 11 laps maybe, and then we'll be throwing the hard tyre on. Rio then in the Haas, coming up to the back of Sid. Both on the medium tyre as the Mercedes of the Lanky One dives into the pit lane. He's going to get rid of those. Move happening here. Rio makes a move. Great move from him down at turn 1. Overtakes Sid in that McLaren. So it's Red Bull, Mercedes, Haas, then 2 McLarens. Bit of a gap between the two, though. 7.4 seconds between Craig in that second McLaren and the first McLaren of Sid. Craig does have Dobo for company on that soft compound tyre. Is he going to make a defensive move? Kind of defensive as he sat right in the middle of the track, but round the outside goes Dobo, the Red Bull, on the soft tyre to get the move done way before turn 4. Down the hill then, through turn 5 we go. Through that left, right, left. Down towards the hairpin. Round they go, no snapping, straight round. DRS wing wide open though on that McLaren. Is he going to try and make a move? Probably going to save it. If I was him, I'd be saving the move. Possibly not even for this back straight. Probably down the home straight. Some quite sizable gaps appearing. Here's where there isn't a gap. So tie clear. It's a Ferrari sandwich between 2 slices of Kick Sauber bread as we stand here on lap 8 of 29. They're about to start their 8th lap, these guys. The wing's going to be wide open on that kick. So let's just jump on board with him. We're on board with Ultra Titan down towards turn 1 then. Is he going to be able to get the move done later on the brakes though? Is the Ferrari. Goes a bit deep, does tie clear. but manages to maintain his position up in P9. Ultra Titan remains in the final point scoring position in P10. Up to turn 4, up the hill. Takes a slightly wider line. And a bit tighter line as we come through here. Slow though the Ferrari. Slow though the Ferrari through the first right-hand turn. Left we go then. Down towards the hairpin. Almost runs off the track, does Ultra Titan. Round the hairpin then. Up we go. Crest of the hill. Kissing the curb on the right-hand side, no doubt. Back down the hill again towards this tricky braking zone. And that's how tricky it is. Because the kick Sauber of Ultra Titan runs into the back of the Ferrari of Tyclear. No damage done though from what we can see. A Supply Raptor picks up a 3-second penalty. Cookie in a dream world right now on lap 8 at 29. Looks to me as though he's got it all to do, Supply Raptor, in that Mercedes, if he's going to come back and try and win this race. Battling here though between these two, Tyclear and Ultra Titan. I think we might see the green machine trying to make another go of it, but he seems to go slow around that final turn. Seems to get better traction though into the pit lane. Into the pit lane comes Tyclear on medium tyres. Into the pit lane, unusual. Yes, we're going to see Dobo come into the pits on his soft. Sid in the pit lane as well. Lots of action, lots of teams running around in the pit lane right now. What's this going to do for a running order then? Sid comes back out in P13 on hard tyres. Going to take those hard tyres 20 laps to the end of the race. As is Rio on the medium tyre. More confidence from him. Lanky one, medium tyre. He's currently in that little tussle with the Williams of Jamie Dwyer on 8-lap old mediums. He's going to get overtaken by Rio on the fresh medium tyre. Yeah, so Jamie under pressure from both Rio. He's more than under pressure from Rio. Rio does a job on the inside of the hairpin. Losing traction on those soft tyres is the Williams. He's going to be under pressure from the lanky one as well. Oh, late move there. Late move from Rio. Nearly collects the back of the Ferrari of Arrow. But he's going to be on much fresher tyres. All the DRS wings wide open. Are we going to see a move from that Mercedes? Lanky one does indeed make a move on the inside of turn 11. Up the hill they go through turn 12. Towards turn 14. End of sector 2. Onto the final straight. Turn 14. Here we go. And Arrow does indeed get swallowed up by that Haas on fresher medium tyres. When's Arrow going to make his move into the pit lane? I think he's probably going to try and take it a bit longer, is he? Yeah, he's going to try and get a bit longer. But with 2 cars in the pit, it's going to be Craig Conley in the pit lane. And why is Craig in the pit lane? Craig's on fresh medium tyres coming into the pit lane. I don't understand. And he's gone straight through. Or am I losing my mind? I'm probably losing my mind. Worry not. 2 Williams, Dasher and Jamie Dwyer both throwing a pair of softs on, a set of softs on. They're going to come out towards the back end of this race classification. Under pressure, Jamie going to be from WT Addiction. And as we get down towards turn 1, can Jamie get out in front? Looks like he can just about get out in front. Those tyres are going to be ice cold though. And WT Addiction is going to have nice, warm, hard tyres. Less than a second gap is going to pick up a little bit of DRS as well. Yes, he is. Look at the gaps that we're seeing out in front. Cookie on those 9, now 10 lap old hard tyres. All the hard runners, by the way, at the top of the field, the top 5, all on the hard runners yet to pit. But the gaps, not just is it a 3.1 second gap back to Supply Raptor. Supply Raptor's got that 3-second penalty. It's then an 18-second gap. So as those guys drive up, Cookie reaching turn 4 now. P4 just crossing the line in Ollie J. Ultra Titan crossing the line to start his 11th lap right now. There's Rio. Good pace on those medium tyres. Good pace. Rio, 31 flat from him, but he's going to be under pressure from Jason Gordon down to turn 1. Jason Gordon backs out. Dobbo now. 30.9 claims the fastest lap of the race on fresh soft tyres, as you would expect. Craig Conley makes a position up. It's Arrow who's gone in the pit lane. He's thrown himself on some fresh hard tyres, and he's just about to come out the pit lane. Will be behind Thulu, I would think, and he's going to be under pressure. Oh, where's Thulu gone? Yeah, it was Dasher. Dasher got through. Thulu got through. Arrow down into P15, but confident that there's at least one person out in front of him in Thulu who's yet to pit properly. Won't be able to take those medium tyres for the whole race. So, leading the way at the moment, I'd say net lead, but it really isn't because there's a huge gap. If we just check out gap to leader, Rio is 30 seconds now. 30 seconds behind that Red Bull of Cookie. So Cookie's got plenty of time to get himself in and out. Probably before plenty of the guys, but certainly the guys that haven't. Oh, late dive, maybe that from Rio. Gets the move done, though. Craig Conley picks up 3 seconds. Gets the move done, does Rio on Ultra Titan. Ultra Titan gave a little bit more room, perhaps, than he needed to. He was the leading car. Could have taken that. Supply Raptor beginning to slowly but surely reel that time in. Down to 3 seconds. It was 3.3 at one stage. It got down as low as 2.9. Back to 2.9 it goes. Can Supply Raptor pull off a huge shock with current situation on track? 3 seconds behind and 3 seconds on penalties. Would be a big shock with the rest of the field 22 seconds behind. Let's have a quick look where we've got some battles then. Ultra Titan trying to stick to the back on these old hard tyres. Trying to stick to the back of Rio, but he's going to have lost DRS, beg your pardon. He's going to have lost DRS. That wing will not be open on the rear of that Kick Sauber because Rio's made those medium tyres work. Now he's got a 4-second gap to the back of Ollie J. Ollie J probably needs to take these tyres quite a bit further. He's going to get closed down. If you think about the two guys out in front, Cookie, Supply Raptor, then you've got Joshy and Ollie with Ultra Titan, all on similar age, older tyres. Hard compound. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That looked like it might have been the lanky one. He's now currently sat. Wasn't the lanky one. Can't have been Supply. Was Supply Raptor. Supply Raptor 6 seconds off the back then. Mistake from Supply Raptor at turn 4. Ultra Titan picks up 3 seconds for his interpretation of track limits, not being the same as the stewards. Another minor mistake down at turn number 10 down the hill. Heading towards turn 11 we go. 11 through 12. Into turn 13. We've got yellow flags again. We've got a Kick Sauber off in the middle of Sector 2. He's rejoined track, Ultra Titan. He's going to lose multiple positions as he loses out to Sid and Dobo. Lost it at the hairpin by the look of things. Or leading up to the hairpin for sure. Looks like he lost it through turns 5 and 6, the Kick Sauber driver. Dobo hot on the back. How can Dobo make these tyres work then for the next couple of laps? Because with the guy in front of him, Sid, on the hard compound tyre, we know Sid's going to go to the end, the McLaren driver. Dobo will not be able to take these soft tyres to the end. That would be my prediction as we've got our first guys diving into the pits then. Supply Raptor is going to try and see how powerful the undercut here at Bahrain is. He's back out on track, goes round turn 2, up the hill, through turn 3. Doesn't have DRS, so he's going to climb up the hill following that Kick Sauber of Ollie J. Into turn number 4 up the top of the hill, top of the course. Back down the hill we go then through turns 5 and 6, chasing that Kick Sauber all the time. Gets a little bit weird on the outside with the rear end just popping out slightly, but he's closing in. See how powerful these new tyres are versus those 13-lap-old hard tyres of Ollie J. 27 gap now then between Ollie J and Cookie. And this is where Supply Raptor's got to show a little bit of patience to get past the Kick Sauber. He'll do it now, nice and easily done before we get down towards turn number 10. Turn number 11. Gets the job done at turn 11 and cruises up the hill then towards through turn 12. And turn 13 then towards turn 14. Turn 14 leads us, of course, onto the long back straight down towards the final turn, or turn 15. Speaking of 15, it's lap 15 of 29. Cookie is streets ahead. He's now 27 seconds ahead of Supply Raptor. I would expect Supply Raptor to begin to reel him in, but Cookie will stay out on these tyres. I'm pretty convinced Cookie's going to stay out on these hard tyres for at least another 5 or 6 laps. I just get that feeling with Cookie that he wants to take these things as long as possible and bin some soft tyres. And into the pits comes JG. Sid and Dobo side by side then. Sid is ghosted there. Sid was ghosted there. Sid's going to make the move back, is he? Up towards turn 4, up the hill. Gets the move done on the inside. But round the outside, hanging it out the outside, was Dobo. Can Dobo make a pressure through turn 5? Side by side, their two drivers go then through turns 5 and 6. The McLaren prevails as they go down towards their hairpin. An early turn-in from the McLaren means he doesn't get out of shape, actually. But he will have Dobo on those 6-lap-old soft tyres for company then. Down the hill, turn 10, awkward braking point, a little bit of a lag for that Kick Sauber in Ultra Titan. And we will see Dobo, soft tyres, trying to make those things work. He doesn't get the move done, even with the rear wing wide open. DRS through turn 12 we go again, for the 16th time for these guys. Supply Raptor has indeed taken 4 seconds out of that lead. Sets a new fastest lap of the race at 30.1. So he's taken plenty of time out of Cookie. If we suggest the pit stop is somewhere between 21 and 24 seconds, then he's in the ballpark. As Rio, in that Haas, jumps in, throws on a set of hard tyres. How long can Dobo make these soft tyres work? And even are they working? Surely now Sid's hard tyres are a better tyre. Maybe I'm wrong, because the wing's wide open and up the hill to turn 4. The Red Bull gets the move done easily. Hangs it up round the inside. Makes sure to push. And speaking of push, there's a little bit of contact between the two. Side by side they go through 5 and 6 yet again. Right on the rear wing. Are we going to see a move from Sid at the hairpin? Equal traction for the two. No, slightly better traction for the Red Bull then. Down through turn 9. Down the hill towards turn 10. Careful, gentlemen. Time, please. As we go. DRS wing wide open again on both the McLaren and that Kick Sauber of Ultra Titan. We've got Joshy C on a recovery drive in the Alpine. It currently sat in P7. And we've got a full safety car. We've got a full safety car because RA Fitz in the other Alpine is out of the race. Full safety car. What a time to get a safety car if you're Cookie. Supply Raptor will be kicking himself, but he will come in for fresh boots, that's for sure. Is he going to... Certainly Ollie J will be in the pits. Dobo will be in the pits. Sid will be in the pits. I would imagine with... well, we'll probably have 10 laps of racing at the end of this race. Is anybody going to stay out? Dobo comes in. Sid comes in. Everybody coming in. Joshy will come in. Rio. Is Rio going to stay out? Rio stays out. So he's going to pick up multiple positions. Is the Haas driver. He's the only driver to stay out so far. And he's shown good pace when he was on the medium tyre earlier on. Can he do... Oh, as Dasher picks up 10 seconds. That's unfortunate for the Williams driver. Rio stays out. He's going to currently be sat in P4. Great stop that is for Ollie. Ollie J was looking like he might be in a little bit of trouble. having not pitted and being overtaken by both Cookie and Supply Raptor. However, that has worked out wonderfully for Ollie J. Also worked out pretty well for Rio. JG is in good shape. Lanky one still continuing his good progress for the day. Let's have a quick look at the stops. Make sure everybody's had a stop. Yes, they have. Position changes. So Ollie J. Oh, as Dasher. Dasher? Dasher, what happened at turn 1, son? Dasher, what happened at turn 1, brother? Talk to me. Did you DNF in the pits and it just drove out? I don't know. I couldn't possibly say. But as we were saying anyway, so we've got three non-finishers so far. That's Dasher, RA Fitz, and Exotic Swords. A Williams, an Alpine, and an Aston Martin. Out in front, it's your boy Cookie. In that Red Bull, following that red safety car. The Mercedes. He's getting right up alongside it. Wants to be careful, doesn't catch himself a penalty. Supply Raptor with that 3-second penalty in P2. P3 up 14 positions so far during this race. It's Ollie J in the kick Sauber. We've then got the Haas of Rio, who stayed out on the hard tyre. Jason Gordon then in the V-Carb in P5. Lanky one, great race from him so far, up multiple positions. 9 places for the Mercedes man. It's then the second of our Red Bulls. It's Dobo 2321. Up 1 position for the day. I think he's up 1 position. Sid, down a position for Sid in that McLaren, and he's closely followed by Ultra Titan. Of course, they're all going to be closely followed because the safety car is out. This I appreciate. We'll bring everybody together, and we'll probably get racing again on maybe lap 19, maybe lap 20. Yeah, Sid, wasn't a good one for you, that was it? This safety car, not the best. Joshy C then in the Alpine in P10 with Craig Conley, the second of our McLarens, currently sat in P11. Ty Clear, P12. Thulu in P13. Hasn't served Arrow well either. He's down in P14 now, down 8 positions on the race. Jamie Dwyer then, who's currently up 3 positions in P15. And then the final car on track is P16, and it's WT Addiction in the Haas. Haas to the end was the original strat. Did you go mediums first up, Sid? Or was it softs first? I can't remember. Is that something I'm supposed to use the race director for? Oh, there we go. Look. All right, Sid. Medium, yeah, medium, hard, medium. So plenty of tyre changes. Plenty of incidents. Let's just see what happened with that final incident. Terminal damage. So Dasher did not retire in the pits. He was on lap 17 and it was terminal damage. So he's crashed coming out of the pits? Who knows? So here we go then. We're on lap 19 of 29. We're under safety car conditions. Let's take it from the top then. It's your boy Cookie out in front. Supply Raptor and the Mercedes in P2. P3, it's Ollie J in that kick Sauber. Let's just get the tyres on the screen. Rio MUFC in P4 in the Haas. P5, it's the V-Carb of Jason Gordon with the lanky one. P6 in the Mercedes. P7, it's Dobbo in the Red Bull, followed by Sid in that McLaren. P8, P9, it's Ultra Titan, followed by the Alpine of Joshy C in P10. Craig Conley currently sits outside the points in P11, and the rest of the guys also outside the points. So not a good day for Ferrari, with Ty Clear sat in P12, Arrow in P14, and sandwiched between those two guys, it's Thulu in that Aston Martin. Not a good day for Aston Martin either. The other driver of the Aston Martin, Exotic Swords, unfortunately one of our casualties. Speaking of casualties, we've got Dasher, who's obviously crashed in on lap 17. His teammate Jamie Dwyer currently sat P50. So plenty of teams who are not troubling the scorers so far this week. Aston Martin, as we've got problems under safety car conditions, as Ty Clear and Craig Conley, for some reason, exchange positions. But we are going to shortly be under racing conditions yet again, as Cookie backs them all up then on that final turn. Let's get on board with Supply Raptor. When will the Red Bull press the go button? Not yet. Not yet. Now he goes. Racing, go. Green, 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 green. And Craig Conley's lost it on the final bit. Ollie's going to be under pressure from Rio. Straight off the bat, Rio going to make a move up the inside. Beautiful view from the rear wing of Supply Raptor. Is he going to be able to make it stick? But does Ollie J get the foot down through turns 2 and 3 to retain P3? Well done to Ollie J. That was a good bit of driving from both those two guys, actually. Supply Raptor then 4/10 off the back. So this has brought him back into the mix. But he does obviously need to get in front of Cookie and pull out 3 seconds within the next 9 laps. It seems unlikely, we have to say, as Dobbo and Lanky One exchanging positions. Lanky One going around the outside at the hairpin by the look of it, gets the move done. Down through turn 9, down towards the tough braking zone, we've said multiple times already tonight, down at turn 10. DRS available, obviously, at the end of this first lap of safety car restart. At the end of lap 20, DRS will be available. So Supply Raptor and Cookie have managed to build that gap to Ollie J already. 1.4 seconds between Supply Raptor and Ollie J. He's got Rio for company. Rio's managed to drop Jason Gordon. Jason Gordon, 1.6 seconds off the back of that. He's going to have the lanky one, Dobbo. Dobbo's going to look like he's going to make a move, is he? No, it's Joshy C. Joshy C. Oh, close contact there. Looks like the Red Bull of Dobbo had to apply the brakes ever so slightly to prevent running in the back of that Mercedes. DRS is live. So when we get to this next turn, we're going to see a move here, are we? Down into turn 1, Alpine on Red Bull. There's a McLaren in there for close comfort as well. But lanky one, Dobbo, Joshy C. Sid managed to get through unscathed in what looked like a very daring move by at least one driver, if not more. Through turns 5 and 6 we go then, 2 wide. Alpine and Red Bull, McLaren still looking to try and poke its nose in. And there it goes. Oh! Is that damage? Is that damage? I thought I saw something come off one of those cars then. It looked like something came off one of those cars. There's so many cars, I just don't know where to look next. Lanky one gets the move done up through turn 11 then. A V-carb running wide might well allow that Alpine to come through as well through turn 12. Up into turn 13. Here we go. What cracking racing we've got here tonight, guys. Defensive line from the lanky one, then down to the middle of the track, back out towards that left-hand side, then down towards the final turn. Doesn't take the best line in for good traction out. Is he going to be under pressure? He's going to move. He's going to swerve to the middle of the track yet again. Jason Gordon. Is he going to see a move inside, outside? He's going to go inside then. Inside to turn 1. We're going to see an Alpine try and make a move as well. Oh! And the Mercedes! Is it the Mercedes? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was the McLaren of Sid has caught the Red Bull of Dobbo and ditched Dobbo out into the wilderness. That's what it looked like from that angle that we took there then. Be interesting to see what the stewards make of that later on this week. Off track goes Jason Gordon. 5.4 seconds off the back of Rio. Let's check in again with our leaders. Supply Raptor has managed to get in front of Cookie. Supply Raptor in front of Cookie, weaving down that straight between 9, 10 and 11. Up the hill then. He's got some work to do. Got to find himself 2.6 seconds then. But of course, Cookie's going to have DRS. Lap 22 of 29. Third sector. Not long to go on this lap. What can Supply Raptor do? Can he make hay while the sun shines and get himself out into the distance? Or is the fact that Cookie in that DRS is going to be able to stick with him? Not just stick with him, but probably he'll want to try and claim the win on track. That's for sure. If I know Cookie, like I think I know Cookie, he'll want to claim the win on track and not rely on penalties. Takes a wider line there. Defensive line then from the Mercedes of Supply Raptor. Mercedes and Red Bull. Where have we seen this before, kids? Let's have a good, safe finish to the race, boys. Cookie retakes the lead up to turn 4. As we've said, at the top of this track. And Supply Raptor falls in behind once more. Rio now on the back through turns 5 and 6. Getting very close to the back of that kick Sauber of Ollie J. These guys 6 seconds off the back of our race leaders. That's okay, they're fighting hard for that final step on the podium. Other people fighting hard. We've got Sid 6.4 seconds off the back of Rio. Closely followed by Jason, Lanky One, Dobo, Ultra Titan, Arrow, and Thulu. Arrow, great recovery from Arrow. I know Arrow was down in P14. As Sid picks up 3 seconds. What's that done to the standings potentially? So 3 seconds for Sid means that he would be relegated behind both JG and Dobo currently as it stands. And he would be under pressure from Arrow, who also goes penalty-free so far here on lap 23. As the leaders start lap 24, let's check in with them. We might see a move down into turn 1. Will we? Supply Raptor looking down the inside. Is he going to make the move on the inside? They go side by side through turn 1. Takes a wider line through turn 2. Falls in behind. Is he going to pick up DRS? He does pick up DRS eventually and does get the move done up towards P4, does he? Turn 4? No, he doesn't. Falls in behind yet again, Supply Raptor. But some fantastic battling in the midfield. Lanky One, Dobo, Ultra Titan, JG, Ultra Titan and JG, sorry. JG switching positions now. Do they come together at turn 4? Up the hill, through turns 5 and 6. We've seen plenty of side-by-side racing action as JG seems to leave the track momentarily there. Might see some action between the Ferrari as well. Really getting into the mix, the Ferrari, alongside Thulu on the back of these guys. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in close contention, all battling it out for P6. 3 of those cars have got penalties. So Lanky One, Ultra Titan and Thulu, penalties. A little bit of a look from Arrow in the Ferrari on the inside of JG. Thinks better of it, though. Probably a wise decision, that, from the Ferrari driver. Ultra Titan still jumping and skipping around a little bit with a bit of lag. Wide! Wide goes JG off the track. That's going to give Arrow, at least Arrow, if not Thulu as well, a little bit of run down into the final turn. Great move from Arrow. And Thulu gets through as well, relegating JG back down to P11 at the back of that train, fighting for P6. Dobo then looking on the inside, is he? Dobo looking on the inside of Lanky One into turn 1. Gets the move done in the Red Bull. Red Bull on Mercedes yet again. And we've had a Mercedes on Red Bull incident. Out in front of Supply Raptor now leads the race. In front of Cookie. Mercedes Red Bull leading the way. And Mercedes Red Bull, or Red Bull Mercedes, battling it out for P6. All the while that P6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 are fighting, Sid is just keeping himself out of DRS as Joshy picked up our fastest lap of the race. He's throwing them some soft tyres there at the back of the field. Let's check in with Rio and Ollie then. Rio and Ollie just keeping each other honest here. Big gap in front, big gap behind. Final step on the podium. The prize for the winner of this little tussle as we get a great move. That is great move up the inside from Ollie J on Rio. What a move from the Kick Sauber driver. We'd like to see that one again. Get the replays out. Defensive line shown by Ollie over to the right hand side of the track. Swerves back to the left hand side. The outside line as they come back through to that turn 15 to go down the home straight once more for the 26th time. I suppose technically you'd say it's the 27th time. It's going to be a case of you give, I give, all the way to the finish line for these two boys then in the Haas and Kick Red Bull late on the brakes. Late on the brakes for Ollie. Good grief. Locked him up. Manages to maintain control. Ends up going off the track, though. Rio and Ollie. Oh, Ollie all over the place. And Rio manages to maintain P3, lap 26 of 29. Be interesting to see. We'll definitely check in with these guys as we get further on down towards the back end of this race. We're in the knock-ins. Final 10% of the race then. Cookie just hanging on to the back, utilising DRS to maintain pace with Supply Raptor then. Supply Raptor leading on track, but Cookie just toying with him here on the run up to turn 11 as we climb up the hill through turn 12, turn 13 and 14 at the end of sector 2 to come. Cookie just looks like he's toying with him to stick with him until the very end of the race. Thank you for the clip there, Zampa. Be interested to see what that is. Hopefully that's the overtake from our Kick Sauber driver. Rio has managed to get in front of Ollie and has just managed to get himself out of DRS range. It looks like Ollie might be burning a little bit of battery. Yeah, Ollie burning battery to try and get himself back. Supply Raptor, the losing out position at the end of the long home straight as Cookie regains the lead of the race. To be expected between these two drivers. Out in front by 10 seconds after a safety car restart not too long ago. This looks like the new Red Bull Mercedes clash. Different driver, of course, in the German car. Supply Raptor takes that seat from Cloud's championship challenger last year, but it looks very much like these two guys are going to be running the gauntlet for the rest of the season. Arrow here, just losing a little bit of time. Arrow is going to cost him because there are 3 drivers in front of Arrow have all got penalties, but at the moment in time he's not quick enough. He's not close enough. He's not in the mix to steal some of those positions back. So Arrow's got to push all pedal to the metal over the course of these last 3 laps. 10-lap-old medium tyres. Thulu behind him on 13-lap-old hard tyres. So tyres are much of a muchness at the present moment in time. Now we're going to check in with Ollie and Rio a little bit later on. How's Lanky One getting on? Lanky One in the Mercedes. Seems to be just hanging on to the back of the Red Bull as well. Yellow flag in sector 2. And it's Arrow. Arrow's gone off. Hopefully no contact there with Thulu in that Aston Martin. But Arrow's race ruined then on lap 28 of 29. Well, lap 27 for him. Lap 28 for the 2 leaders who streak out into the front. We might see a change of the lead here. Coming up the hill to turn 4. Supply Raptor's going to stay behind. Seen lots of good action today, guys. Really impressed by some of the driving from our WHF drivers. 1 or 2 questionable incidents, but at the end of the day, it is league racing. It's not IRL. You know, we always see some questionable driving in IRL from time to time. You only need to look at Austria. So penultimate lap of the race then for our race leaders, Cookie and Supply Raptor. 11.7 seconds out in front of the rest as they go from turn 10 down to turn 11. Tight left-hander, tight long left-hander actually, up through turns 12 and 13. Looks like the back end slides out on that thing. Ollie in the Kick Sauber just waiting to make his move. We've got another Kick Sauber waiting to make a move well in Ultra Titan, but also has company in the form of Dobo in the Red Bull, Sid in the McLaren. There's then a gap of 4 seconds back to Thulu. Craig Conley 3.7 seconds further gap. Craig's got WT Addiction for company and Jamie Dwyer for company. Good recovery drive, I think, from the Williams of Jamie Dwyer to see himself up in P12. Not a point scoring position, of course. But with the lead guys having started the final lap now, can Jamie Dwyer pump in a real good final lap to try and pick himself up some points? Might be too much, but we'll see, because Addiction's dropped 1.4 seconds off the back of Craig Conley in that McLaren, who's currently sat in P10, the final points position. Back up with our Kick Crusader then, Ollie J on the back of Rio. on the back of Rio, trying to get this move done. Is he going to find himself in a position where he can utilize DRS between 10 and 11 to steal the position and then defend all the way back down the back straight? Speaking of defending between 10 and 11, Supply Raptor 2/10. It's not going to be enough. He's not going to be able to get the win tonight. That's for sure. He might be able to steal it on track if he can just pump the pedal to the metal, but I would imagine, knowing Supply Raptor as I do, he'll just settle for where he is and not try and win this on track. He'll just allow Cookie to navigate his way through turns 14 and 15, the final 2 turns on this track, and go through the Red Bull. Here he goes. Cookie will cross the line. First race of our season here in WHF, and closely followed by Supply Raptor. Red Bull followed by Mercedes. We've seen that before. Haas. Is Haas going to be the next car? Haas is, and it's going to be a podium. It's going to be a podium for Rio. P4 is going to be only Jake. Great drive from him. And then we've got, following up, it's going to be the... yeah. Could have done with having that on, really. It was double. The lanky one in P6, Ultra Titan P7, Sid P8, P9 goes to Thulu. Jamie Dwyer ends up in P10. Does indeed pick up a point. The Williams driver. WT Addiction in P11. P12 is Craig Conley. 13 clear. Arrow finishes in 14. Joshy 15. And Jason Gordon. Who was it who went sideways over the line? Looks like it was probably Joshy C going sideways over the line. But Jason Gordon's going to come round and cruise himself to that final lap. Great drive, though, Lanky. Great drive, my son. Superb stuff. So there we go then. There's your podium sitters for tonight. And atop the highest step on that podium, it's Cookie, last season's world champion, in that Red Bull. The all too familiar sight of Cookie on the top step of the podium. The all too familiar sight of a Mercedes on the second step as well. But this time it's not Cloud, it's Supply Raptor. And joining them, it's Rio. Rio in the Haas. The not too familiar sight of a Haas on the podium at all, quite frankly. But there we go, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first round of our season done and dusted. Congratulations to everyone. Ultra Titans happy with 7th. He expected to be slow. Lanky one. Those hards gave up on the last 2 laps. It was a tough one to try and fight. Tyres were cold on the safety car system. Craig, yeah, it looked like a real difficult race for some of you guys on some of those newer, harder compound tyres. But I think you've all handled it superbly well. Of course, Cookie and Supply Raptor are certainly round 1 streaks ahead. And it'll be interesting to see how you guys can develop your skills and hone your skills to try and close the gap to those 2 guys out in front. Right then. Let's get into the sports bar, ladies and gentlemen. The sports bar. Here we are in the sports bar. So, fantastic race. Are we going to see anybody jump in for an interview? More than happy to have an interview with Cookie, Supply Raptor, and Rio. If you'd like to jump in and grab an interview, that's fine by me. But whilst we're waiting to see if those guys come through, really interesting. I don't actually know how they would get in here, to be fair. No set Arrow. Tell me you didn't forget to put a setup on Arrow. Oh, mate. Oh, bro. That's depression. Definition of depression. Thank you so much for the raid, though, Arrow. Much appreciated, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think... I don't think we're going to get any interviews in tonight. I don't see anybody clamouring to talk to me. So I think... then I saw the countdown. Of course you did. Yeah. So before we disappear, I think it's really important that I don't mess this up. But we're going to have one more quick look at the race calendar for this season. I think it's really important. Pleasure, Lanky One. Absolute pleasure, as always. So I'm going to try and remember to stop the intro video, get the calendar reveal back out. So yeah, so that is the first of our races gone. Bahrain is in the books. Cookie and Supply Records as this is the beginning of this race. And the first, vamos, I was going to pause it, guys. There, right, we've paused it. We've managed to pause it. So, yes, this week it was Bahrain. Next week we head to Lusail at Qatar. Closely followed, of course, by Portimao, Portugal, 22nd of July. 28th of July, we're going to head to one of my favourite tracks to drive. It's going to be Hungary, Budapest. Followed by one of my tracks that I really don't like to drive. It's Baku. It's Azerbaijan in round 5. Round 6, it will be Zandvoort, Netherlands. Round 7, the halfway point of Season 3 here at WHF, it will be Belgium. We head to the iconic circuit of Spa. And then, of course, the second half of the season kicks us off with we've got a week's break there between the end of the first half of the season and the start of the second half. But the 1st of September sees us head to Vegas. Another track I don't mind driving, to be fair. Monza is round 9, followed by the one and only Silverstone round 10. Round 11, we head to Spielberg, Austria, with round 12, Japan and Suzuka, another one of my favourite tracks. Closely followed by another one of my favourite tracks, in fact. It's Brazil, Interlagos, Sao Paulo, call it what you will. That'll be round 13. And, of course, we will finish up Season 3 in many, many, many weeks' time as we head to Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. But yeah, that was me. That was me. My name's Andy Owen. This has been WHF. It's been an absolutely magnificent start to the season. Wonderful. I'm going to leave you with a little summary as our champion from Season 2, Cookie, throws down the gauntlet yet again to this field, and it's a different challenger. It's the same car, but it's a different challenger in the form of Supply Raptor. Looking forward to seeing how these guys tussle it out over the coming weeks to see how we find ourselves in Qatar at a track that notorious previously for a lack of fuel. I've run out of fuel there at least one occasion. But thank you so much, guys. Listen, you take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening. I'm going to dash off and grab myself another drink. And we're going to go and raid F1 Scott. Take care. Make sure you go and say hi to Scott from WHF. I would imagine Scott has been doing some Creator Series stuff over the course of the week. And I don't know what he's doing tonight. Maybe he's on some ranked. I don't know. I used to enjoy watching F1 Scott doing some ranked. But yeah, you take care, guys. Much love from me. Much love from WHF. And we'll see you next week, where are we going to see another battle between Red Bull and Mercedes? Take care and good night.